Must be fun playing with these trains. Be terrific if we just had the time, right, sir?
Yes, would be nice.
You know, sir, it's a funny thing. All my life, I kept running into smart people. I don't just mean smart like you and the people in this house. You know what I mean. In school, there were lots of smarter kids. And when I first joined the force, sir, they had some very clever people there. And I could tell right away that it wasn't going to be easy making detective as long as they were around. But I figured if I worked harder than they did, put in more time, read the books, kept my eyes open, maybe I could make it happen. And I did. And I really love my work, sir.
I can tell you do. If there's one thing I learned, Lieutenant, it's that we all have a cross to bear, including those of us who seem most fortunate. My problem is just the opposite. Born smart, as they say. A blessing, you'd think. I had no real childhood. I was an imitation adult, because that's what was expected of me. Most people don't like smart people. Most children despise smart children. So early on, I had to hide my so-called gift, conceal it from my own brothers and sisters, my classmates in the service. Painful, lonely years.
You know, sir, I'd never thought of that.
I wonder if all those early bitter memories had something to do with my recent discovery that I simply no longer care even for my fellow intelligentsia in this club. I find them eccentric bores.
Mr. Brandt, now I've got a puzzle for you. Man A wants to kill Man B.
What am I told?
It's kind of a minimum information problem, sir. The men are in a room, sir. Say this room. Lots of people downstairs. And Man A, the killer, he plans to use a gun.
Then the shot would be heard.
Not with a silencer, sir.
He also would have to get rid of the gun.
He would have to hide the gun. So the killer brings an umbrella with him. May I see your umbrella, sir?
An umbrella to conceal a gun? Audacious and foolhardy, I would say. But you may test your theory if you wish.
Oh, I don't have a gun, sir. Never carry one. The killer has a gun.
With a silencer, so you said.
You see, sir, the killer plans to put the gun in the umbrella and then hide the umbrella in the fireplace and take it away some other time.
Ah, but then there would be soot on the umbrella.
You are absolutely right, sir. There would be soot. Now, there is a second use for the umbrella. You see these here? They're like loud firecrackers. We call them squibs. Now, the killer plans to fake some shots because the victim is already dead.
I suggest that these squibs would leave bits of paper when they explode. Telltale evidence.
That's why, sir, the killer plans to catch the shreds in here.
Most ingenious, Lieutenant, but wouldn't the squibs leave burns, scorch marks? Now, this umbrella, for instance, is quite unmarked.
You are absolutely right, sir, but suppose this were the killer's other umbrella. Oh, I forgot to tell you, sir. Last night when I was at your house, I took the wrong umbrella. Excuse me, sir. Just one moment. I took yours. It was an honest mistake, sir, and we're not allowed to get evidence that way. But as long as I had it, the lab found burns from the squibs and lots of soot, sir.
I see. Now, tell me this, Lieutenant. How were the squibs detonated?
Oh, the killer is a very intelligent man, sir. Watch. I put the squibs in the umbrella and the gun. We'll pretend that this is the gun. Now the killer wedges the umbrella up the chimney.
You can't be serious.
Oh, I am, sir. I am absolutely serious. Now we'll just pretend that this umbrella is up the chimney. Now these wires, sir, they're attached to a battery and the same kind of squibs. Now we'll just put these in the umbrella. And we'll run this wire, sir, right over here to the Victrola. We push the play button. And we attach the wires here and here, where I showed you those scratches, sir.
Preposterous nonsense.
Now the killer knows when the record will end.
Yes, you demonstrated all that.
And when the arm comes over, it will make contact. First here, exploding one squib, and then here, exploding the second.
But the body fell between the two shots.
Yes, sir. That's where the killer has to take a very big chance. The dictionary has a line here dividing it in half so that it can be balanced on the edge. You see, sir? Like this.
Clever, but too unpredictable.
Important for the illusion, sir.
Sound of the body falling.
You've got it.
But impossible to time.
But this killer is very smart, sir.
Can he make the book fall between the two shots?
Oh, yes.
How? Triggered by what?
I'll show you.
He would have to be a genius.
I think so too, sir. Now, I don't mean to imply that I thought of this all by myself. I mean, some of the smartest people in the world are right here in this club, and they help me, sir. They help me a lot.
The dunces, the lot of them.
Mr. Danziger, the president of the club, you wouldn't call him a dunce.
Oh, wouldn't I?
Well, it was his idea, the book, the vibrations.
Vibrations? What are you talking about?
The first squib, sir. He really made it sound very simple. When the squib goes off, it produces vibrations, and that knocks the book down. That Danzinger's a genius.
Vibrations, that nitwit. The man who conceived all this, you made him out to be a bungling ass. No!
This is what he would have done. This.
There! There! Oh, my. Oh, my.
I would like to know, Lieutenant, the meaning of this.
Sid, please.
He asked me where you were, Lieutenant. I hope it's okay that I told him.
May I ask what this was all about?
There's the sweater. Match up with the thread?
I think so.
We got to take it down to the lab, though, Lieutenant. It's the only piece of clothing that even came close.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lieutenant, but I do know that suspicion is being deliberately cast on me, and I can guess by whom.
Well, sir, I won't deny that Lieutenant Lucerne...
Will you stop calling him Lieutenant Lucerne? He's a television detective. You can't conduct an investigation based on his suspicions.
Well, sir, I did have a reason beyond his suspicions. You see, the gun that killed your wife, sir, had a little piece of thread that got caught on the trigger. I'm afraid, sir, that that thread came from this sweater.
Thread from my sweater?
Yes, sir, mohair. The lab said navy blue mohair, and I remember that was the color of the sweater that you were wearing the first day that I met you. The morning after she was murdered.
But that's incredible.
Yes, sir, I agree with you, but I've always had a good memory for colors.
Bravo, Lieutenant. Even I didn't remember that.
Didn't you, sir? My goodness, that's funny. You see, because one of the reasons that I remembered the sweater was because you got hooked on it that day. Following our discussion, sir, supposing Lucerne was right before when he got the idea that Ward Fowler was our man. Supposing Ward Fowler had planted that thread on the gun himself.
I don't quite follow you.
Well, sir, supposing you, supposing Lieutenant Lucerne was right, and Claire Daly was blackmailing you, like in the TV show.
Lieutenant, I thought we agreed that I had what you called An ironclad alibi.
Airtight, sir. That's what we actually say. Yes, sir, but you know as well as I do that you could have rigged that alibi. It was very brave of you, sir, to show me the videotape machine. You certainly like to take a chance. And I always wondered, of course, how 2 drinks could have given Mark such a hangover. I figured it was phenobarbital. And then he would be out. And he'd be able to tape the game and go over to Tony's and kill Claire and get home and then wake up Mark. And he would be disoriented and groggy and guilty about drinking. And when he saw the ball game on TV, and it looked just about the same as it did when he passed out, he'd be glad to assume he'd only been out for a minute or 2, instead of the hour and a half that had actually passed. And you changed his watch, didn't you? And then you changed it back to the right time after he was asleep. That was a mistake, sir. You shouldn't have set it to the correct time, because Mark always keeps his watch 5 minutes fast. I've wondered about that. $1,000 watch just doesn't lose 5 minutes overnight.
Is that it?
No, sir. There's also the height of the criminal. It's about my height. And your height, sir. Without the platform shoe. And there's one other thing, sir. You're a crack shot.
Endlessly fascinating, Lieutenant.
But as Lieutenant Lucerne would say, where there is no proof, there is no criminal. Fascinating, notwithstanding.
But I think, sir, I have the proof. Here.
What proof? Lieutenant, there are no fingerprints on that gun. You said so yourself this morning. This has been a rather silly demonstration, Lieutenant.
Well, you're absolutely right again, sir. The killer cleaned the gun of all incriminating prints. But the thing is, he forgot something.
Forgot what?
Well, sir, you know that this gun was only used as a prop. So, of course, it was never filled with anything but blanks. That is, until you stole it, sir. And in order to kill Mrs. Daly, you had to remove the blanks and insert real bullets. There were no prints on the gun because you wiped the gun clean, sir. But there is a reason that the lab report took so long. You remembered to clean the gun. But you didn't remember to do the same thing with the bullets.
Damn. I had to forget something. That's always how the third act ends. You see, I've had no rehearsal as a murderer. I'm, after all, a detective.
Yes, sir, but you did kill Claire Daly, didn't you, sir?
She was a blackmailer. And I killed her. And up to now, I'm glad I killed her. And I believe that in this killing, the murderer has the sympathetic part. Does that satisfy you?
Yes, sir, that satisfies me.
Lieutenant, you would do me an enormous favor if you stopped calling me sir.
just one more thing.